Sounds correct.
Welcome, Realm family, to another episode of Wrestling with the Realm podcast. I'm Brian, one half of the power and glory of wrestling podcasts, and on the other side, he is the Hercules to my Paul Roma. It's my guy Will. Will, what are we talking about?
Guys, we are talking about WWE Evolution. Me and Brian were just talking about it, and Brian, I don't think we've had a better pay-per-view since WrestleMania 40.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. This this I caught myself. Premium live event. This premium live event was phenomenal, top to bottom. It's hard to get a match card with zero misses. And then you have a match card that has two all-time classics. Two all-time classics. And let's talk about the first one.
Let's go.
It's the triple threat match between Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Lyra Valkyria. Three people on this podcast we have been critical of before.
Yeah.
This match is phenomenal. It is the best. It's my favorite type of triple threat match. I think most people would agree with me that a triple threat match where you get all three people involved in the offense at the same time is the best type of triple threat match. And they did that so well in the opening sequence of this match. That paired with how good all three of them were in the ring the whole match. Brian, this is an all-time classic. It really is. I don't think they could have put on a better match than this, really. And I've had high praises for the other two matches that Becky and Lyra put on, and this blows that out of the water. I want to give a shout out to Becky Lynch. This is the best she's looked in the ring since, gosh, I don't know, her original The Man run. Her offense in this match was great. My favorite part of the whole match had to have been how she just stole it at the end. The in-ring psychology
Yep.
to have Bayley and Lyra, their hatred for each other, trying to get the Intercontinental Championship, just right at the end, she's able to take advantage of that. So, Brian, what are your thoughts on this match?
This match, as soon as it got going, I looked at my wife and I said, "This is better than anything that they did the night before on Saturday night's main event." I was like, "Wow, this is already better." And I'm going to eat some crow. In the words of the great Jerry Orbach, when I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong. And when it comes to Becky Lynch, I'm willing to say that I was wrong. I was critical of her lately. And if this is what everybody else was seeing out of Becky Lynch, I get it because this was the best thing I've seen her do. I wasn't around before, but since I've been watching, this is the best match and the best storytelling that I've seen her do because you pointed it out perfect. That match had great storytelling in it. All three were just on fire. Lyra Valkyria, ironically enough, who again, somebody we were very critical of, she was the MVP of that match. She was
Yeah.
fantastic. Um, Everybody was so good in this match, and the way that Becky won the match at the end, that move was awesome. I love that it was just that quick reversal. And again, I turned to my wife and said, I wonder how many times the three of them practice that finish just to get the timing right because she has to hook Bayley's arm and Bayley has to turn. Like, I'm sure it's easier than any of us could probably imagine. But I go, I'm just curious how much they had to practice that to make it look that good because it was awesome. This could have been the match of the night, and I'm still not convinced it's not.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a coin flip between the main event and this, and you're talking about two all-time great matches in general.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, I
seriously,
got one more thing for that. That the other thing that they've done, and credit to Becky Lynch, because we talked about this several months ago, that it might be time to introduce top tier people into your mid card championships to make them mean more. This title means something now.
Yeah,
This is more important than the Women's United States Championship. Like
100%.
they have built this up now to where it feels important. So kudos to you guys. Great job for everybody all around.
And I want to give a shout out to whoever's on the creative team for this storyline. This is the best booked storyline for a title, and maybe in general, since WrestleMania.
Yeah.
The amount of time they've put into this, it shows. And kudos to them because for me, it was taking a gamble on Lyra Valkyria at the time post
Hmm.
WrestleMania, and she is a star. Bailey was great in this match. She is a star, and Becky Lynch is the man. Obviously, she is a
Yep.
star. You're talking about three people, like I said, we've been critical of. I
Yeah.
feel like we were wrong, everyone.
Yep.
We were wrong. This was a great match, an all-time classic. Let's move on to another great match, the NXT Women's Championship match. JC Jane, the champion, versus Jordan Grace, accompanied by Blake Monroe, which
Yeah.
we will get to later. I said to Brian, because I'm gonna be honest, guys, I watch a lot of wrestling. I miss NXT every once in a while.
Hmm.
Tough to keep up with every week, especially right after Raw. And sometimes I'm coaching or I got something going on and I miss Monday Night Raw and then I gotta watch it on Tuesday. I forgot JC Jane could wrestle like this. She throws some mean punches, a
Yeah.
mean super kick. She she hit Jordan Grace with a flying knee during the match, and I was like, holy, like, I low-key jumped out of my seat. It was crazy. She's just got hard-hitting moveset, and it's kind of refreshing to see. It really is. There's not many people, men or women's division, that don't really have the super technical approach to it. They just throw hard punches. So
Yeah.
shout out to JC Jane. Jordan Grace, last episode of Overrated, Underrated. We gave her a tough time.
Yep.
We were kind of, hey, it's time to step it up. I thought she did in this match. This was a good match for her, I thought. There were still a few moments that I thought were a tad shaky, but she delivered I think it was a power bombed position fisherman suplex during the match.
Yeah. It was something
And
like that. Yep.
I was in awe. I was like, that is just pure strength. This is why she has the hype she deserves. And this match boils down to Fatal Influence trying to get involved, trying to use the belt to their advantage. Blake Monroe coming in for the save. And then she takes the belt, and as JC Jane reverses a Irish whip, as Jordan Grace is bouncing off the ropes, Blake Monroe turns heel, as she is known to do, even when she was Mariah May, and hits Jordan Grace with the belt. After the match, she hands it to JC Jane, which, by the way, there's people speculating, oh, is she going to join Fatal Influence? Probably not. I wouldn't say that's the move, but some form of an alliance with JC Jane or some sort of deal was made. And I thought this match showcased the NXT women's division super well. And this was a phenomenal match. Brian, what are your thoughts?
I agree with you. This match started moving, watched the first few minutes. I'm like, okay. And at a certain point, I went, man, JC Jane, she can go. And I started
Yeah,
going, wow, she knows what she's doing in the ring. You know who her style almost reminds me of? It almost reminds me of indie Chelsea Green. Like almost the match that you had me watch with her and Penta, where I go, I can tell that Chelsea Green has a totally different gear and style that she can do. Like she's quite the chameleon. Um, but JC Jane kind of remind me of that move set a little bit, the way she moves in the ring and the things that she does. So that's a compliment. Um, Jordan Grace, it's the best match that I've seen Jordan Grace have. So kudos to both of them because it was a really good match that I bet a lot of people weren't planning on enjoying as much as they did. That was an entertaining match. And then you got Blake Monroe. She gets involved and she turns heel. And I think that this was a match that was a really big sleeper hit that people probably weren't expecting. And instead of getting up to get popcorn or go to the bathroom, they probably couldn't get out of their seat. They had to stay because it was that good. So bravo.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, sleeper of a match here. It's a match you'll go back and forget was on this card, and then you'll watch it again and be like, wow, that was a phenomenal match.
Yeah.
So shout out to these two. Let's move on to our next title match. I love this match too. It is a theme during this show. You have the Fatal Four Way Tag Team Championship match. The champions Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus the Kabuki Warriors versus the NXT North American champion Sol Ruka and Zarya. This match was great from the beginning. The Kabuki Warriors enter first, and then everyone else enters. They keep panning to Asuka and Kyrie Sane as everyone's entering. And Asuka is just dancing to everyone's theme song.
Yes.
And I just thought that was hilarious. Asuka's always very animated in her character.
Hmm.
So they'll like cut to, I think, uh, Sol Ruka and Zarya came out next. And then Alexa Bliss came out. And they pan to Sol Ruka and Zarya, and they are serious. Like they look pissed. And then they pan over to Asuka, and she's just dancing in the corner.
Yes.
So from the beginning, this match had me won. And what a showing from these women. I want to give a shout out to obviously Sol Ruka. I think she is going to be a huge player in the future of the women's division. She is in the ring. I don't know. She's tough to top. She might be in my top three in-ring wrestlers right now, men or women. Like she is that good. She has a
Hmm.
few things she needs to polish up on, but the Soul Snatcher might be the best move in wrestling. It is just so unique. It really is. And the double Soul Snatcher she did on SmackDown was
Yeah.
amazing. Just an elite in-ring talent. Charlotte Flair, what a pop.
I couldn't believe it. That was crazy.
They did exactly what they wanted to do pairing
Yeah.
with her and Alexa together. They got her she's over.
Yep.
When she got that hot tag, first of all, the she does a like almost like a front cartwheel into a big boot. It is crazy. You can tell she's just feeling the energy
Yep.
from the fans. And you can kind of see it on her face. Like this is something she has not felt in a while. And it probably felt good for her, to be quite honest. She has been the heel forever. And putting her with Alexa just worked perfectly. Zarya had a good few moments. She is strong
Hmm.
as advertised. And my MVP of the match, Raquel Rodriguez. She is on a hot streak like no other right now. The katana bomb to the
Yeah.
outside was my favorite moment of the whole match. She also had a move at Night of Champions where she gave Rhea Ripley the katana bomb onto the part of the announce table on the outside. That might have been my favorite move of all of Night of Champions. So she keeps on putting on stellar performances. This match, double thumbs up for me. Brian, what are your thoughts?
Man, it's the everybody, there's going to be a lot of glowing reviews on here if you haven't noticed that already, and all of them are earned. You took the different tag teams, which I love, by the way. I love the whole idea of we're going to have a tag team from Raw, one from SmackDown, and one from NXT. I thought that's such a cool idea. And it gives you a chance to show off show off more talent. And like Sol Ruca, what was this? Is this her third show of the weekend? Like they were saying it
Yeah.
like what her, last few days have been like, and it's true. And she goes out there and she does things in the ring where I go, she's like an Energizer bunny. She keeps going because she hasn't lost a step by the time we get to this match, and looks great doing it. And that's great booking, by the way. If you have somebody that you want to showcase over a few days, by that last day, get them into a gimmick match like this, where she doesn't have to be in there the whole time with somebody else, but you're still getting everything out of her that you need. So brilliant booking for that. Um, Zarya. Zarya looked really good. I think this was a nice little coming out for her because for as much as we talk about, Roxanne Perez or Julia and Stephanie Vaquer, um, Zarya, I know it was kind of a big deal when she got there, but it feels like that's died down a lot and there
Yeah.
just wasn't much. So I'm glad that she got to be on a big stage and showcase a few things because she looked really good. Um, Roxanne and Raquel, she looked really good again, and it makes me so happy that we have a lot of superstars that we've been saying now over the last couple of episodes that have found that next gear or have put everything together. And it's such a difference that you see. And everybody in this match was hopped up like they wanted to get those big pops. Everybody was waiting for those hot tags. I thought it was great. I love that Raquel and Roxanne retain. They're
Yeah.
clearly like setting up the story with Liv. They've been really great at. Um, I love that Roxanne on was that on Raw when she set up the little in
Um,
memoriam little table for Liv. And Dom's like, she's not dead, you guys. Like, but they're playing that so picture perfect with Roxanne. It's a little bit on the nose, but it's so good because she's literally now taking Liv's identity. Her walkout backdrop uh, logo that's on the screen when she walked out looks eerily similar to Liv's now. Same color scheme on it. You got the hot pink and everything on there. The way that it looks. Um, Even at the end of this match, before Raquel could even get up, Roxanne is already running over and jumping on her back so she could pick her up like Susan the chimp and hold her. Why? Because that's what Liv always does to Dom. So it's so perfect how they're doing it. It makes me so happy because every time Raquel and Roxanne are working and doing something, there's always like this next little straw on the camel's back that breaks. And eventually, when Liv does come back, she's going to be mad, which is a different thing than we've seen from her. Like we've seen her scream and all that kind of stuff, be bratty. We haven't seen the crazy mad version of Liv Morgan yet, and we're getting to that. And I'll say what I told my wife. Um, Liv may come back and have her Regina George moment. And I'm talking about Regina George and Mean Girls the musical. That's almost a perfect movie. Everybody needs to go watch that and then leave a comment about it because I will talk for hours about that movie. It's almost perfect. But in that version of Mean Girls, um, Regina George is not the big bad uh, in that one. And when she finds out that people have been plotting against her, you realize oh, they messed up doing that because they've seen Regina George. They haven't actually seen the one who wants to get even and is angry now and is going to get even with you and is better at it than you are. That's what I'm excited to see with Liv. That is going to be funny and it's going to be even better because Roxanne and Raquel are doing such a great job with it. So man, this match, I'm just so happy that we get to review a good PLE after Saturday night's main event. And
yes.
this is awesome so far. And Asuka, you're right about Asuka. Asuka's awesome. Asuka really is as good as she's billed. You hear like Asuka's been around for a while, but you always hear such favorable things about her. Tune on, just put this on, and you go, I see why people talk so highly of Asuka. Like it's just everybody in this was great. I
Yeah.
can't give it if I had four thumbs up, I give it two thumbs up and two big toes up. Good.
Favorite moment of this match. I forgot to mention this. It is when Zarya spears Sol Ruka
Yes.
and Alexa Bliss gets saved by Charlotte, and Charlotte's in the corner holding
Yes.
Alexa, saying, I got you.
Yep.
It shows two things. It shows that the Zarya and Sol split is happening, and it's happening soon. And it shows that Charlotte and Alexa are building a relationship. When you can tell a cross brand story in the ring, that's something special. It really is. This
Absolutely.
match brought this. So, like you said, two thumbs up, two toes up, whatever. It gets it. It gets it. Great match.
You know, you already said you gave some flowers to the bookers. Um, this is another another thing where I go, whoever booked it and creative, whoever were putting these matches together are doing everything right for the reasons why you just said. You told cross-brand storylines in one match that worked as its own match. That's hard to do. And everybody was able to do that. We said it a few podcasts ago that we always say when you have everything working together, when you have the creative and the bookers and the commentators and the superstars and a good crowd, when you have all those things going together, that's when professional wrestling gets that kind of magical thing to it and what makes it so popular. And they're doing it throughout this whole PLE, and this match is no different.
Yeah, 100% agree. Let's move on to the next match. You got the champion, Tiffany Stratton, versus the challenger, Trish Stratus. This match was probably the match I was least looking forward to from the storyline aspect, maybe even the in-ring aspect. And this match was good. It was a good match. And I thought that it was a little bit stiff too. It really
Yeah.
was. There were a few moments in this match I was like, dang. I highlighted one. The Hurricane Rana to the outside.
Yeah.
It looked like Tiffany Stratton just bounced off the floor,
Yes.
like her whole body.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my gosh, that looked like it hurt so bad. And then Tiffany followed it up with a swanton bomb. Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy were on Chris Van Fleet's podcast, and they were talking about the swanton bomb. And Matt said that Jeff can't give a good swanton anymore, and now they're just croutons.
Ha!
Tiffany gave Trish a crouton. I don't know if that was like a little receipt, but it was stiff. And this match was hard hitting for what it was. Trish was giving her out Hurricane Ranas.
Yeah.
Thought she looked good in this match. I thought it was a good match for what it was. It was quick, to the point. There's not a whole lot to say about it, but I feel like what you can say about it isn't, it can't be too negative, really. And there's a few things I could nitpick, but with it looking like it's Trish's final match, and the crowd and the standing ovation. They usually don't do that unless someone's going away for a long time or it's their last match and they just didn't want to announce it. Who knows? That's just speculation. But if this was Trish's last match, it was way better than Goldberg's last match.
Hmm.
So, hey, kudos to Trish. Good match. It's probably the lowest you're gonna get on this whole card, and it still gets a thumbs up from me. How about you, Brian?
Yeah, we are in solid agreement. I think we're going to be throughout the rest of this thing. Uh, it's interesting you bring up the Goldberg thing because I go, they're not exactly the same but they have that same idea and the same vibe that they're going for. And I thought this was infinitely better than Goldberg's was. I mean,
Mhm.
you have the superstar from a different generation going against the new top dog, and for this match being that setup, they did such a good job. I mean, if you would tune in on a Monday or a Thursday night, this would be a main event match there, and everybody would go, "Yeah, that's a main event for Raw." And I don't mean that disparagingly about their match being on here because I go, when we say it's probably the lowest rated match on this card, that's not saying it's bad. It's like me saying what my favorite attraction at Universal's Epic Universe was. It's hard to do that because everything is so good, but somebody has to be at the bottom. You know, in this one, and it's at no fault of them, it's just everything else is so good and so exceeding expectation. Even they exceeded the expectation. And I go, this is probably still the lowest rated match on the card, which is saying something about how good this show is because this was entertaining. They did exactly what they needed to do. Uh, Trish was never going to win. I don't think anybody ever thought that that was going to happen. Uh, it made Tiffany look good. She always looks good out there. This made her stay on top and didn't diminish her at all, and it did nothing to hurt Trish Stratus. So you had a quick little build to this of, two friends and a mentor, and now they're having this battle. Um, I thought it was a good little side quest for them to be on, and it worked for this PLE, and I thought it was good. I can't say anything bad about it. It's a good match. It's just it's a really good match on a card that has really, really great matches on it. So again, I will tip my cap to Trish and Tiff. Yeah, that's another thing. Their names are too close. You got Tiff
Dude,
for
I almost
Trish,
messed
you
up.
got Stratton and Stratus. That's messed up. And I know Wade Barrett and Michael Cole were probably this just thinking the same thing. Uh, but yeah, that's my biggest criticism. Their names are too alike. They're not allowed to have this match again because it's too hard to spit that out without messing it up.
Yeah, I almost did it like twice as I was
Hmm.
going through the review of the match. Let's move on to our next match. We have Jade Cargill versus Naomi in a street fight match, one of four in women's wrestling history. And this match, it was good. It was a good match. I will say, offense was heavily carried by Naomi in this match. And it wasn't a super long match. That bulldog by Naomi onto the chair, super cool spot.
Yeah.
Super cool spot. And that was one of my favorite moments of the match. Jade did not look bad in this match. She did not. I thought it was interesting that they had her not lead the offense. And I felt like if any match she could have, it's a no holds bar match. So I felt like she could have led the offense, but totally made up for it with the jaded through the table. That
Hmm.
was sick. That was so cool. I love that spot. This match gets a thumbs up. Wish they did a little bit more with Bianca being the special guest referee.
Yeah, that was
Kind
surprising.
of like sat there and her emotions were not really, you know, on display like they were at Elimination Chamber. She was just kind of there. But maybe that's because something later in the show happens and they're just trying to kind of put this in the past because, someone's not going to be there anymore. So I guess in hindsight, it makes sense. This match gets a thumbs up. How about you, Brian? Where you at?
Oh, I give this match a thumbs up for sure.
Mhm.
Just without being too negative about, Jade, but I go, the match starts and I turn to my wife and I go, this is yet another gimmick match for Jade Cargill. You know, if you have to have her do a match, there's only certain things that you can do. Um, and one of the ways to hide that and get more out of the match or more time out of it is you gimmick it. So we have no holds barred match. So now we're protecting her a little bit with what she can and can't do in the ring. And even with knowing that, Naomi has been so good with this character that carries the whole match. I forget about being critical of Jade Cargill once we really get going in this match. And then once Jade takes that uh, big sliding boot when her head's against the monitor by the announce table, I go, that is such a cool spot. I thought that it looked like $1 million. It was a really good match, and I give it two thumbs up because it's a really good match. It's one of the more entertaining Naomi and it might be the most entertaining Naomi and Jade Cargill match that I have seen. And I don't mean them in a match together. I mean each of them. This is probably the best match I've seen for each of them, or most entertaining match. My one my one criticism that I have is that Jade Cargill sometimes relies too heavily on the Hulk Hogan hulking up and just being impervious to things. Where she did it again in this match, where out of nowhere she just pops up at the end and just takes control and wins the match. I wish there was more. I wish there was more selling, and it might not even be more selling, but I wish that maybe they would take their time a little bit more with it because she does that a lot where she'll be taking a beating and then boom, she's right back up and nothing is phasing her. And it's straight out of, Hogan or Ultimate Warrior circa 1990. Um, so that's my one criticism that I have of the match is that I hope that they get with Jade Cargill, and that's the next thing that she kind of focuses on to work on because she's been doing a lot better about trying to sell the leg injuries and all that kind of stuff. Um, so that's my one criticism, but otherwise, I think that this is a really great match. Super fun, super entertaining. They tell a good story. I was down with this match.
Shout out Jade Cargill. Always improving, it
Yeah,
seems. We're not taking steps backwards, so you know, she's doing great. And I think she's going to continue to capitalize on opportunities.
yep.
And I'm getting less and less nervous about her championship run she's going to have, which I think is almost inevitable now. Like, I thought Naomi was going to stand in the way of that. So, you know,
I
looks like
mean,
that's
that's
happening.
I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking too. Um, it seemed like it would have made more sense originally for Jade to get to the championship picture and win, and then you have Naomi cash in on her, and they zigged and zagged on this whole story, which is interesting. So I'm curious to see where they decide to go with this. Should be fun.
Yeah, I wonder how much of that is because they didn't generate enough buzz during Saturday night's main event, which I think they were planning to do, and AEW All In because AEW had their biggest show of the year this Saturday, and it was received beyond well by the fans, especially the main event. Sometimes I wonder, were we just trying to create some buzz? But we'll
Mm,
talk about that more when we talk about the main event. Brian, let's move on to the match we might be most excited to talk about, the Women's Battle Royal.
hmm
And this match is exciting for multiple reasons. The winner gets a shot at the Women's Championship at Clash in Paris, but even more exciting because Lash Legend balled out in this
Yep.
match. She made it to the final two. It was her breakout moment.
Yep.
And me and Brian, we thought about taking a victory lap on here, but we're not going to yet. Still too early.
Yep.
Still too early. But she was great in this match. She's my MVP of the match. I thought that I had to almost reset when watching this match because battle royals in general, until the very end, tend to be a little bit more fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't talk about too much of the fun that I'm talking about because one of the things is my Shockmaster moment of the night. I know what? I'm gonna give it away. I'm gonna give
Okay.
my Shockmaster moment of the night. It was Natalia's worm. What was she doing?
Yeah.
It was terrible. And then she like got up and gave Kalani Jordan three of the worst punches I've ever seen. That being said, that takes me to Kalani Jordan, who let's just give her the Kofi Kingston spot. Any Royal Rumble, any Battle Royal, have her in there. Have her do some ridiculous stuff like getting tossed on to the announce table and doing a handstand to get back into the ring. That is one of the most athletic things I've ever seen. Another thing I had fun with in this match, Michael Cole keeps calling Candice LeRae Candice Michelle. Like even after Wade Barrett corrects him,
Yeah.
he does it like two more times. I don't get it. I do not get it. It is confusing. I was disappointed to see that there wasn't like any returns or special guests in this match, like legends, nothing.
Nope. Nikki
Nothing. We
Bella.
Nikki Bella, who was great.
But she wasn't a surprise or anything though.
No, we knew she was going to be in here. She actually had like maybe greats like that's too much, but she was good. She was good.
Yeah.
She hasn't had a lot of in-ring action up until this point, and maybe it's because she could kind of pick and choose her spots in the Battle Royal, but when she did pick them and choose them, they were good. I thought that Nia Jax always looks so strong in these matches. If it's the Royal Rumble, if it's a Battle Royal, does not matter. It takes three to four people to get her out.
Yeah.
That spot with Lash Legend and Stephanie Vaquer, I thought at one point they hit a move. I forgot exactly what it was, and I was like, oh, she's for sure out. And she's still holding on to that rope. And it takes an extra feat of strength from the both of them to get her out. Lash Legend picks up Nia Jax in this match.
Yes.
She is wicked
Yes.
strong. She is wicked strong. And obviously, Stephanie Vaquer wins the match. She's going on to Clash at Paris. And I don't know who she's going to face. Seems like she's going to be facing the winner of our next match. But interesting. Interesting call. They're pulling the trigger and they're doing it early, and it's well deserved. She's obviously one of the best in ring talents in the whole entire women's division. So excited for the future. Brian, what are your thoughts?
I love battle royals and Royal Rumbles.
I do.
There's like I just anybody who watched our Rumble 91 retro rewatch, you know I'm a sucker for those type of gimmick matches. Like you give me a Survivor Series or even a War Games, Royal Rumble, any of that stuff, the Andre the Giant Classic Battle Royal, any of that stuff, I love that stuff because it's so different and you get to see something different than what you're used to with those matches. And it was super fun. I thought everybody everybody was able to get their stuff in. There came a point, and I can't remember what it was, if it might have been with Maxine Dupree and her worm, where I said out loud, uh, this is what they call in wrestling getting your stuff in. Like everybody in these matches wants to get all their stuff in, and I think everybody did a pretty good job of doing that. And it was very impressive. I love that Lash Legend was the runner up. I love that they did things in this battle royal where you have people that um, aren't both heels or aren't both faces. You have people that don't like each other. You have them work together against the common enemy, and it really sells that idea that it's every man or every woman for themselves in these. So I love when they do those kinds of spots, like trying to get Nia Jax out. Like I thought that those are such fun spots to see the characters doing things or working together in ways that they normally wouldn't do. And I think this says a lot for Lash Legend. I hope it's her coming out party. I hope that this means they have some plans for her because she is so fun to watch. I don't know what it is, but there's something about the way that she works in the ring. She's one of those like a skyscraper that we've talked about before, like a Raquel Rodriguez, Kevin Nash, all those types where, you know, you're taller and you're more of a powerhouse uh superstar. She fills that role, but hers is different than what other people do. Like Kevin Nash apparently was telling Raquel Rodriguez, he was critiquing her online, saying she needs to be bigger in the ring, like she needs to work bigger. And I go, I get what he's saying because we've said that about Roxanne Perez before. She's a very short person, but she never feels small in the ring when she's working. So I kind of know what he means, but I wonder if he would say the same thing about Lash Legend because I go, I don't see that with her. Like the way that she works, she just exudes that she's a very powerful woman and but she's could also be very technical. Like she's got a lot going on that is really good and it's really exciting. You of I have talked about her before, you know, given her flowers on how much we like watching her work and that we hope that she has bigger things coming in the future. So hopefully this was a step there. And you're right with Stephanie Vaquer. It's so interesting that they're throwing all their chips in right now on her, which I think is a great idea because she has it. Like she cut a great promo after the match, and I hate those post-match interviews when they do that in the
Me
ring.
too.
But
It
hers
was
was good.
it was
There's
good.
something about her that she checks all those boxes, and she is just really, really good at professional wrestling. It's everything that she does, and she doesn't do it with a lot of words. She's almost like a mime. She can project so many different things in the ring without even speaking. And that is one heck of a talent. And I'm glad that they're going to push their chips in for her because sky's the limit for her too, man. This women's division, we say it all the time, it is heads and tails the best in the world. Like there's no question of that.
Yeah, well, no doubt. Let's highlight two of the best in our next match. We got the champion Io Sky challenging Rhea Ripley in what is one of the best main events I've seen in a long time. I have lots of hot takes. Lots of hot takes. First one I'm starting with is Io Sky's the best wrestler in the world right now. There is just no one better in my opinion. She is amazing. And she's in there with Rhea Ripley, who people are always talking about. But man, the crowd is over for Io Sky. I think she is improved on this one detail that I've always wanted her to kind of improve on, and that's her in-ring storytelling. The story going into this match is Rhea Ripley could never beat Io Sky. And every time Rhea would start to build some offense, it would be Io doing something, one thing or another,
Yep.
to counter. And then she'd flip the table and she'd get the match in her advantage. And it happened every single time. So they're still telling that story. I thought the Spanish Fly was amazing. That
Yes.
was a crazy spot when she jumped off. She must have been, what, 15, 20 feet in the air, and she jumped off and hit Rhea Ripley with the splash.
Yeah.
The chain wrestling, you can't just highlight one moment of it. It is some of the best chain wrestling I've seen since uh, Chad Gable versus what's his name? LV Kingo in AAA.
Okay.
Like, is the best chain wrestling I've seen, and it's better than that. It is. Io Sky is a technical wrestler, but also a high fly. Like she has it all.
Hmm.
So I don't think there's a better wrestler than Io Sky. And I was questioning, why is she the one with the belt going into WrestleMania 41? And she's in there with Rhea and Bianca. I totally understand now. It is a shame that that is her second title defense. And
Hmm.
that's her first title defense since WrestleMania. What were we doing? What were we doing? And there was people online, the IWC, complaining, "Oh, well, we don't want Rhea in the main event." Yes, you do. This is why, right here. This is one of the best, if not the best, and in my opinion, the best women's match ever.
Wow.
It is that good. Watch it. If you have not watched this match, go rewatch it. I was just talking to my dad, and he was like, "Yeah, I watched all of Evolution. I didn't get to the end though. Like I didn't watch the match." And I was like, "You got to watch this one, man. It's that good. It really is. It's a solid match. You have to go rewatch it. It's beyond solid." And I had Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley as my favorite women's match of all
Okay.
time. This has overtaken it. And then also on this card, you have another match that would make my top three. Seriously, this is how good
Yeah.
this pay-per-view is. So this match is amazing. The only thing that I would have liked is from like a just a technical standpoint is a pure winner. But guess what? It only gets better from a cinematic standpoint. Naomi shocks everyone and cashes in the money in the bank to become your women's world champion. This match is a 10 out of 10. And I don't know where they're going with the storyline quite yet. Obviously, we have the triple threat match at SummerSlam. If you are not excited for that match, I don't know what to tell you. That match is going to be phenomenal. But, Brian, what are your thoughts on this amazing main event?
Normally I would have, because I was the person who was saying I don't know if I really need Rhea and Io again. Like I'm like I don't know. They've barely built anything on it. They try a little bit here and there. Um,
Yeah,
I've seen them so much already, but this match really it clicked with me why WWE keeps going back to it, and which is why I'm not disappointed with that triple threat at SummerSlam. Because normally I probably would go, man, I like
again.
all three of them, but do I need to see this? Like, I don't know if I need to see it again. They work together. What they have some crazy chemistry where the way that these two work together, it is so Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, where it's like you put them together and they just have a way where they naturally just have this weird ability to work with each other in a different way. And Rhea and Io do that where you're watching them and you go, they got some sort of chemistry when those two are working together. The opposite of that would be Penta and Braun Breaker, where I go, those two need to stop being involved with stuff because it's a clash of styles and who knows what else. This is them being completely on the same page. And they just make everything look so good. Rhea's so good at selling. I think sometimes we overlook
Gosh,
how
yes.
good she is at her selling that she does. Um, Io taking that crazy bump on top of all those crates. We had ref bumps on this pay-per-view on this PLE. I love ref bumps. I love all that old school kind of stuff. I love that we had a special guest referee. You know me. I'm the one who's always like, we need a special guest referee for this. Put a shirt on Randy Orton, throw him in there. Like, I always want a special guest referee. We got that on this pay-per-view. So, finishing it off with these two, and then on top of it, you have Naomi cash in. I didn't have that on my bingo card. We're all sitting around wondering if Seth's going to cash in the night before is the talk of the town and the scuttlebutt. None of us were talking about Naomi cashing in on this show. And it made sense within the show. It made sense why she takes the loss earlier, and we completely forget about her.
Hmm.
Completely. So it is a shock when she comes down and then cashes in successfully. and now we're taking off in a different direction. Now Naomi's on Raw. Everybody had her figured for going after Tiffany. That didn't happen. It's the swerve, bro, and it was a good one. And that's when we come to the end of this pay-per-view, this PLE, everything as a whole, you go, it just kept getting better. It just kept getting better and better. But before we get to the end, I suppose I should do my Shockmaster moment of the evening.
Yes, go
Because there
for
is
it.
one. I can't believe me and Will. And again, I know everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, but you said the show's so good, and now you guys got two Shockmaster moments. Can't
I
be
got
that
another
good.
one.
Can't be that good if they're Shockmaster moments." And I go, "Yes, it can be that good. We're nitpicking. Sometimes things are so good it overshadows the little things. My Shockmaster moment is in the Naomi Jade Cargill match when Naomi clearly is not set up properly and the garbage can starts to fall off. So instead of taking the garbage can off and getting out of the way so she can try to beat her opponent, she takes the garbage can, puts it back on all the way, and then turns to receive the kick from Jade Cargill. And I said out loud, "Yep, I just got Will's Shockmaster moment of the evening right there. And I laughed about it and I moved on because everything else was so good. That's what's so great about this PLE. Everything was so good.
No, I'm replacing my Shockmaster moment of the night because Natalia's it was good, but I totally forgot this was my original Shockmaster moment of the night. Jessica Carr takes a bump in this match.
Yes. Oh, but
She's supposed to be a wrestler. Like she's on Evolve
yeah.
Wrestling, got her little mask on. She was out for 15 minutes. You're
Yes.
not going anywhere, Jessica. I'm sorry. You're going to be eating pinfalls to Kiana James one day. You're not if you're not getting up from an EO Sky drop
Yeah.
kick within 15 minutes. I mean, that brawl lasted forever on the outside.
Be fair, it was a big missile drop kick.
Yeah,
To
dude, it
be
was
fair.
and she sold it really
Oh, she
well.
did. She took a great bump. It looked like $1 million. But
Yeah.
I like that you're using your Shockmaster moment of the idiocy that she's out for that length of a time with this and she's supposed to be a
You're
wrestler.
on, you're on the come up. Like, what are
Yeah,
you doing?
she's
My
like she's like Glass Joe in Tyson's Punch Out, where you go, how'd you even get here? Like,
just one punch, you're done. You're
like
done.
it's such a weird thing where you go, no, this is never gonna work for you. Stick to refereeing.
Yeah, my goodness. That made me laugh. That was definitely those are two, honestly, three good Shockmaster moments. And
Yeah.
I had one from the whole Saturday night's main event being the whole entire pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's a lot though.
Some sometimes wrestling's just fun. Like these are just moments that I just find funny and Brian finds funny.
Yeah.
So those are your Shockmaster moments. But Brian, what is your official review on Evolution 2?
Oh, I'm giving it a 9. Like this thing is a solid 9.
Mm.
10 is almost unattainable. You got to get to like some WrestleMania 40 stuff and Cody. Like you got to get the, but even that, I go, I don't know if that show is a 10. This is as high as marks as you can kind of get out of me. The whole show just kept going and got better and better, and everybody worked so well. And I don't know if everybody had a little added chip on their shoulder because there was so much hubbub about tickets weren't selling and there's a Beyonce concert. And somebody had a sign in the front that said I got lost to the Beyonce concert. I love whoever had that sign. That was brilliant. Um, but there was lots of talk about that of, this is just counter programming and yada yada, all kind of this blase, semi-negative talk about it. And I think everybody went out and kind of said, we're going to shut people up and we're going to give people one hell of a show. And they did. The crowd wanted it. The superstars wanted it. Everybody was on the same page. And because of that, they made such a great show. This whole PLE was great. It's a solid 9. I'm assuming if yours is lower than that, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll eat my hat because that's just you would be
No,
crazy.
no, 9.5. I'm
Okay, even
I'm
better.
I'm so high on this pay-per-view. And my original thought was almost 10. Like I thought this
Yeah.
was perfect. But there were a few moments where I was like literally like one or two where I was like, "Oh, they could have done this." For like a 10, I just need to be sitting there and be like, "Man, I love every part of this pay-per-view." And I could literally almost do that with this. We'll probably look back on this and our scores will just keep going up. They will
Yeah.
because this is just a top to bottom amazing pay-per-view. So this is why right now women's wrestling is better than the men's division.
Yeah.
Straight up. I think if you had a all men's PLE, you'd have to pull some pretty big matches together to top something like
You know,
this.
that's one of the weird things about Saturday night's main event that felt off about it is there wasn't any women's matches on there. We tried to get the Jade and Naomi thing in there, and that kind of sprinkled a little bit of that in, but it essentially was just an all male PLE for Saturday night's main event, and it felt off because of that. I think we've gotten to a point in the industry in 2025 that that playing field is level, whether some people like it or not. I'm not going to speak for Jim Cornette. I haven't listened to his review yet. I'm super excited too because I can't wait to hear what he says because he was so down on the Women's Royal Rumble. I don't want to speak for him though, but for the people that think that maybe we're not to that level field yet, we are. And this weekend was a glaring example of that because you had two things to choose from if you're WWE and you're not watching AEW. You're watching Saturday night's main event and you're watching uh Evolution. You're watching those two shows. Which one do you suppose people liked better? It's pretty obvious, and everybody's been pretty vocal about it. It's the all women show because it was fantastic. I hope that this is a yearly thing. Do they do this every year, Will?
No. So this
Nope,
is
they
the
better
first
start.
one ever. I was gonna say this has got to become a yearly occurrence.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Hopefully next year, you know, you know, maybe Kiana, where is she at? Kiana James can get there. Yeah, she's right over
There
there.
she is. Yeah, she's by you.
She would me, Brian, and Kiana James, people not at Women's Evolution.
Yep.
So hopefully next year she's there. I don't know why she's on the poster. I love that though. I love it. So I love this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Absolute best pay-per-view of the year so far.
Hands down.
Down.
Not even close.
It really isn't. So
Yeah.
high regards to everyone that was participating and the bookers. They booked it perfectly. So
Yeah. Like this is like the first pay-per-view since Mania where there hasn't been something where we have to go, yeah, yeah, but that or that didn't make any sense. Or I guess I get what they're trying to tell us. Like there's none of that in this. This was just a good time from beginning until the end, and they were able to tell stories within that time frame. We had a cash in. We had a cash
yeah.
in for Money in the Bank out of nowhere and it made sense and people popped for it. Everybody wanted this and it was great. Man, I can't say enough. I really can't.
No, like even when you had to watch All In, you still had to watch a Ricochet match.
Yeah,
So
for real.
like you had to watch
Yeah.
Ricochet go out there, him and all of his baldness, go to that ring, and he just flies around, and then people think he's the stuff, and then you put a mic in his hand.
Wait, wait,
So
wait. You said people think he's the stuff? I don't know if
yeah,
anybody thinks that. You're being too polite.
Dave Meltzer gave him like 24 5-star
Oh,
matches.
come on, stop it. No, he did not.
He's got a ton of them, man. He has a ton of them.
So
But
he's not with WWE anymore. So now I like him better because I like the other guys.
yeah, I know.
Because
I mean,
WWE, they're just too big. I like the AEW.
5-star matches, 1.5-star promos. It's not going to get you too far, is it? So I'm sorry. Ricochet tangent, Ricochet tangent. We would love to get Ricochet on the
Two,
pod, though.
you say a 1.5 star promo?
Yeah.
He doesn't do a promo. Like, so you can't complaining. I'm not getting enough time. I should be better, and then people should like me more. And you're dumb if you don't like me. Like, that's not cutting a promo. That's just complaining. Like, those are two
There,
different things.
the clip you need to throw right here, right at the end, is two. There's two. Carmelo Hayes when he's like in the ring with Ricochet, and Trick Williams is in there too. And Trick Williams was like, "Oh no, look at Ricochet has a mic," and then Carmelo Hayes, "Don't hurt yourself."
Oh,
And then the famous one, it's like actually super viral, is he's reading his Instagram. He's on Instagram Live, and he's like, someone comments, "Why you bald?" And he gets like super upset about it. Like he actually is like, "Why, why, man, you suck. Why you mad? Oh, why am I bald?" You
oh
gotta
my
throw that one
God.
in. You gotta throw it in. Classic
So,
Rick.
and again, that's not cutting a promo. That's just complaining.
Yep, that's what he does. That's
Oh
what
my
he does.
God.
All right,
Yeah, we
guys.
love Ricochet.
Yeah,
What are we talking
come
about?
on.
We're big Ricochet guys over here. We love him. He's great.
Yeah, yep. Well, he can come on the pod. Uh, Brian, what do we got? What we got going on here at
Well,
Wrestling?
we have Ricochet coming up.
Well, but we have a new idea. We'll spin the wheel video.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
that'll probably be the next video you guys see.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna have topics on the wheel. We're gonna spin it, and then we're
Yeah.
gonna go from there. Just kind of freelance the video. It's when me and Brian have the most fun doing this, unless we're talking about a absolute classic of a pay-per-view.
Oh, so good.
Brian, what do we got going on at the Realm Paranormal podcast?
Well, everybody, once you're done listening to us, click down below for the Realm Paranormal podcast and come see all of the spooky paranormal things that we have going on. We got big investigation, evidence review stuff coming up. But go back and look at some of the older videos. I talked in our last podcast that I re-listened to one of our old movie reviews for Friday the 13th, part 6, and it was really good and it was really fun. We got a few of those. We got like Cabin in the Woods. Think we have Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. That's a good one. So even if you don't like the paranormal stuff, but you're into scary movies, we got some movie reviews on there too. Go check it out.
Well, until next time, guys, I'm Will. That's my guy, Brian.
Yeah.
Just remember, we love you guys, and Ricochet is bald. Till next time.
See
See
you
ya.
guys. Because, uh, oh crap, what's his name? Um, oh God, hold on, I'm having a brain fart. It's not a wrestler.
Okay, wait 1 second. While you have
Yeah.
your brain cleared, I'm gonna go grab another
Yeah, yeah.
Barker root beer, everyone.
This is a good time to do it.
It's good.
Jerry Orbach, I thought of his name. We were able, I was just going to be super mean and be like, we just got some Doritos and like a crisp $20 bill and like let him use our Nintendo Switch. And dude was like, oh, come on and talk. You guys are great. Like, but I'm not going to do that. That's way too mean. I'm not going to do that to him.
Oh, damn.
Is that a sneeze or a cough?
Ooh, damn. The ghost of Ricochet got me right there.
He ain't even dead.
Woo!
Oh
Came
God.
up from behind though.
Oh
He
man.
said talking all that.
Oh.
Woo! I'm glad you got your bit off though before I started just choking on Casper the Ghost. Absolutely nothing.
Oh man.
Oh man. Oh, it's
Somewhere
funny.
Ricochet has like a little podcast or voodoo doll. He's like,
Yeah.
I know somebody's talking about me right now. Everybody has to. He starts poking it.
Oh gosh.